Okay, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakadash, Barakatham Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Shalom Wa Barakim, La Bakar Shayasha Allah, Washin Kabah, Garwala Wakwab, Zakonim Noah, Shayasha Allah, Ba'aith. Alright, Wa Ha Shalayakim Noah. Alright, that's all praise to the Most High, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings be upon the elect of Israel out there that tune into these videos. And double honors to our elders and apostles in these times, known as Great Millstone. All right, so I want to go into this parable of the rich fool, and just bring out some precepts on this, and just bring out some edification and some things that we need to be aware of in the spirit that Yahweh Shai informed us about. You know, that's the reason why he said this parable, because the main thing I want to focus on is although that we have riches and we may make a certain amount and do come up on certain levels in society or whatever, what have you, you know, however the riches may come or the gifts may come, they're very uncertain. Okay, and we are to place our faith in the knowledge and in the wisdom that we have, and not in the riches. All right, that are given to us. All right, which us handing each other pieces of paper, that's nothing. That's not real riches. Real riches is in land and in silver and in gold, just like our forefathers. All right, and we don't even have that in these times. All right, so let me just go into this parable here. All right, and I'm gonna go right into it. This is Luke 12 and 16. And it says, "And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits?" So you had a rich man that had so many fruits, all right, and so much that he said, Where am I going to put all my fruits? Verse 18 says, "And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods." And you have a lot of Israelites like that, all right? These riches and the uncertainty of these riches, it gets the best of them, all right? And now what? Like the scripture says, money becomes the root of all evil, all right? They don't stop till they get enough. But the barn representing where that you store these things, you know, you may have an emergency fund, all right? Just in case, you know, illness or, you know, sudden death or something that goes on in your life that you may need to reach and have money for. There's nothing wrong with that. But storing up riches for the end times, you know, and having faith in that, like, yeah, I'm gonna bank on this when all hell breaks loose. No, that's not how we're supposed to be in the spirit. It says verse 19, it says, "And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry." And that's not the spirit to be in, all right? Because this prophecy here, that's how the so-called white man operates, man. He takes until he can't take anymore. And here is a description of him, all right? It says, Habakkuk 2 and 8, all right, being the Edomites, all right, those in rule of the planet Earth right now. All right, he is a good example of a rich man. Says who lacks faith, all right, places all his faith and everything he cherishes in his riches and his power. It says, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein." Now you can't tell me that's not the reputation of the so-called white man, the European man. It says, "Woe to him that coveteth the evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil." And that's the whole point. This rich man thought that he would set up for a time, so that he can be easy. You know, he's not thinking about the latter end, all right, the judgment that's going to come in the end, how we need to be storing up our faith for that, all right? We're not supposed to be in the mindset of the riches or this evil covetousness that we have. These things, these possessions, these earthly carnal possessions we have is going to deliver us from the power of the evil. All right. Proverbs 11:4 says, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death." All right. And our righteousness right now, according to the letters that Paul wrote, and Paul was taught by our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He told him that we are abiding by the law. Our righteousness is of faith. All right. a law of faith. So when the day of wrath comes, the day of wrath being the destruction of America and these other countries and this monetary system, all right, the collapse of the economy, when that day comes, the riches are going to profit not, all right, because these riches are uncertain. All right, look at this. This is the U.S. debt clock. The U.S. national debt is at $20 trillion. Okay, 20 trillion. All right, the U.S. total debt is at 69 trillion. Okay, so there's no coming back. There's no coming back. These false riches ain't gonna be able to deliver you. In Proverbs 27:1, this is something else we shouldn't be doing. All right, just because you got a little Esau give you a little shekels on the 15th, the first and the 15th for the last day, whenever you get paid, you still need to boast not thyself of tomorrow. All right, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Right, we don't know what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has in store for us. That's why we're not supposed to be like the rich fool, all right, who says, soul, thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. He doesn't know what's gonna happen. All right. Let me read verse 20 here. It says, but the power said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? Right, you got a lot of guys, they find out this truth, all right, and then maybe they get a good job or something starts going their way in their life, and now, all right, they think that they're in a good case. They start being wicked again, start being carnal. They let the carnal side of them take over the spiritual side, all right, and then at any point in time, though, the Lord could require your soul, all right. That's why you're not supposed to boast thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring. All right, guys, you got guys talking about, I could have went and did this, I couldn't go do that. Well, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that. No, man, you're supposed to do what James said, or Yaquab said. His name Yaquab in the Hebrew said in James 4:13. It says, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year, buy and sell and get again. So here you got guys making plans. All right, there's nothing wrong with making plans, but you have to say this though. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we live and do this or that. Right, sometimes we make plans to visit brothers and do certain things, to see certain family members, but it has to be the Lord's will, because we don't know at any point in time, the Lord can have your soul required, man. He could call you back up into the spiritual world or bring judgment upon you in certain case, torture you, man. You may have a certain plan to go meet up with a certain woman. Man, the Lord could flip your car over on the way there. For not giving him praise and honor and glory for the day. You know what I mean? So it's gotta be Lord willing, because you got a lot of people get besides themselves when they start getting money or gifts. All right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be riches. Riches can come in many forms. All right, the rich man's field or ground that brought forth plentiful. We have to relate that into our lives. How can we relate that to what we have? All right, and what we possess, that we place value upon. All right, Matthew 6:19. Lay not up yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Right, you don't place your faith in your 401k, all right, and your HSAs and things of that nature. Yeah, it's there to use for the time being, but you don't bank on that, all right? You do not bank on that. Do not bank on this debt, all right? But lay up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also, your spirit will be also. Right, we place our faith, All right, in the heavens, we know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is real, and we believe that. We believe that He's going to deliver us, and that we're going to get the real riches, which is really the kingdom of heaven. All this is temporary, so we have to lay up our treasures, our thought process, and what we want and what we desire has to be upon heaven. All right, wherein dwelleth righteousness and 100%, righteousness, man. No iniquity, no sin. All right, that's the real riches. Psalms 39, and I'm just going through these precepts, just to bring out some edification here. Just going in on certain portions of this, because here in Luke 12 and 19, this rich fool also said, and I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. Right, you got a lot of guys, they find out this truth, they get rich off this truth. Spiritually they get fed, but then they say, well, I'm not going to go out in the winter times anymore, or I'm going to go and do the work when I want to. I've done the work enough, so now I can just chill and fall back. No, it doesn't work like that, all right? Psalms, you think you're all good in a sense, Psalms 39 and 5 says, behold, thou hast made my days as a handbreadth, and mine age is nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Salah. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. And that's exactly what happened to this rich man. All right, he said, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? Right, so you storing up all these things. Just say we were to, if this place was to go on for a while, man, you wouldn't know where your stuff would go to. All right, everything you've been working for. All right, you could lose everything, man. And we're talking about spiritual things. All right, talking about spiritual things here. Slakia. Okay, so back in Psalms 39 and 6 again. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Right, everyone wants to flaunt like they flossing. All right, nobody's flossing here, man. We in captivity. There are no riches here. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. All right, now here's another prophecy. Tazapunya 1 and 18, or actually, you know what? Let me start at 1 and 14, because again, we talked about how riches profit not in the day of wrath. Well, let's deal with it. The day of wrath, the great day of the Lord. Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near, rich fools. All right, this is what the rich fool, all right, this certain rich man, which represents 2/3 of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and these heathen on a deeper level, all right, especially Esau specifically. Okay, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The mighty man, in this case, also it goes along with the rich man. Those who think they're in good case. You think you got a good gig, or you got a good woman, or you got a nice whip or a couple of whips. You know what I'm saying? You made it, just got an increase at the job. So now you becoming mighty and proud in the spirit. Well, you're gonna cry bitterly. That day is a day of wrath and a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Right, there's cloudy days on the horizon for America, especially when they trending like this. All right, especially when it's trending like this right here. All right. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Right, that's why you see a lot of that stuff going on in the Middle East right now. Okay. Verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh shall be as dung. That's talking about when these missiles drop, man. It's going to be a total wasteland when these nuclear bombs destroy America. There's going to be so many dead bodies, all right, they're not going to be able to be buried. And there it says their flesh is going to be as dung. They're just going to be wasted everywhere. There's going to be so much. Just like dust particles, man. You can't see the dust particles. There's so many. That's how the symbolism that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the Most High Name of the Son, is using through the prophet Zephaniah. Verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. And that's right, man. That's right. It's not going to. Even if you got silver coins and you got a little bit of gold saved up, what's that going to do against a pack of 50 people who are trying to eat you because food is scarce? All right, what's that going to do for a pack of pit bulls or huskies or Akitas chasing you down because they hungry in the day of the Lord's wrath? You got to think about these things, man. Where you got to have faith, not actual money. All right, you can't hide in your Lamborghini. You can't hide in your 2018 Benz or, you know what I'm saying, Camaro, and expect to just ride this thing on out. Nah, it's not gonna work like that. Your ass gonna starve to death, or you gonna get attacked. It says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Those missiles. For he shall make an even Salakia, forgive me. For he shall make an even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All right, now the point that I want to stress now is, what mindset are we supposed to be in? All right, and let me reassert this, I should say, because Yahweh Shah did tell us in Matthew's the 6th chapter that we're supposed to lay our treasures up in heaven where moth and rust don't corrupt. All right, and that's where our heart and our spirit would be. And as long as we're in that case, then we're good. That's why Isaiah said this in Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. Not once did this rich man give credence to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Say, thank you, Most High, for allowing me to have these fruits, allowing me to have this job, or being able to produce this plentifully. There was no fear. There was no fear in that. All right. He said everything he said, I will say to my soul. All right. Because the heart is deceitful by nature. All right. When you follow after your emotions in your heart, you start becoming carnal and you start lessening your fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So, yeah, Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of our salvation. This is going to be placing our faith in this wisdom and knowledge that we have of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to strengthen us, is going to bring us right to the brink of salvation from Yahweh Shai. And I fully believe that. I pray to the elect out there that you believe it too. All right. Let me just bring this out real quick. A recent quick article concerning this rich fool Esau. See, this is what happens when you stack up unrighteous treasures and the evil covetousness. Your freaking government shuts down over and over again. It says the shutdown clock is still ticking, and that causes chaos throughout the government. And that's prophecy, man. The Lord is collapsing this place. So why trust in it? You know? Why? I mean, of course we have to move, operate, and work in this place to survive, but we don't store our faith in that. Ezekiel, and there's prophecy about this. Ezekiel 28, because the government's just not shutting down for no reason. All right, all this is judgment for how they originally established this government. Ezekiel 28:3. But thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. It's talking about Esau and the elites, or the so-called white man. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches. It has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. And what was that traffic? It was humans, man. It was the Israelites, the nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, that's another reason why you can't place your faith in these riches. Don't be like the rich fool, because you were the original riches that were being used. Actual people. our foremothers, our forefathers, man, our kinfolk. That was the traffic. That's how this place got established, man. That's why this debt is as such. All right. Really, there should be a human being, a number count for the people that got killed, man, and the families that they're the blood that is indebted and on their hands. More prophecy about this place, all right, because of their riches and how this place is foolish and going to be destroyed. Revelation 18 and let's see, Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. All right. The rich fool America, Babylon the Great, aka the great whore, the mystery Babylon is America. That this is what John was speaking about in Revelation the 18th chapter. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and will see no sorrow. Let's look up deliciously. All right, what does deliciously mean? Let's see if this has anything to do with uh, uh, taking ease. Uh, having so much goods that you don't know what to do with it. See, and laying up treasures to themselves. See, and the rich. This is something else the rich man says. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich towards the Most High. And that's the point. We have to be rich towards the Most High. All right, not towards ourselves, because the more you're rich towards yourself, the more you're going to destroy yourself. That word for deliciously, all right, is strenaio. All right, strenaio. It means to be wanton, to live luxuriously. In order to be luxurious, have luxurious things, you gotta have that money. You gotta have that paper. All right, you gotta have that paper. That's why this place, it has to get burned with fire, man. It has to get burned with fire because they're living deliciously and it's wicked. It's off of wickedness. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power who judgeth her. Right, and that's what happened to the rich man. It says, thou fool, this night thou shalt be required, the soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich towards the power. Right, so I want to just stress that again. We need to be rich towards the power and not rich towards ourselves. Don't be like the rich fool, man. Put all your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Just invest all of it into him. You know, it's a stock that's invaluable, and it's always increasing in value. Through the spirit. So call Haloim La Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I hope some edification came out of this lesson. I hope some understanding was able to come out of this. Again, call Haloim La Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honor, star elves and apostles of great millstone, and shalom to the elect.